Welcome back to another episode of the DNC Reviews podcast. I'm Arjun, as you know. Today we also have Seung and Ronan per usual, and today we are going to be reviewing a new drop from the Migos. It is a follow-up to Culture 2. It is the third of the Culture saga, the Culture trilogy. It is Culture 3.
I put the Adderall in my lean, in my murder bravado jeans, hella rocks in my socks.
It just dropped this past Friday. It's like, what is it, like 20 tracks, 19 tracks, an hour and 15 minutes. We got some big name features. We got Juice WRLD, The Biebs, Future, Young Boy, Polo G, Drizzy, Cardi B. And yeah, we're just gonna see if they have been able to redeem themselves or if they dug themselves deeper into the pit of corny, long songs. So, who would like to start with favorite, least favorite tracks?
I'll start. My favorite has to be Light It Up with Pop Smoke. I like the Juice WRLD song, Antisocial. I like Birthday. And my least favorite, Mahomes and Jane.
But Mahomes, yeah, I'll talk about that later. But my favorites are Avalanche. I really like Avalanche as an opener. I like Straightening, and I like Modern Day. I feel like because Straightening and Modern Day were both like leaks, and there was a bunch of like snippets going around on Instagram and such. So I was already excited for those two to drop, and they all like lived up to the hype. Everyone came through with their verses. Least favorite track, I'd have to agree with either Mahomes or maybe the Polo G track.
My favorites are Birthday, Time for Me, and Light It Up with Pop Smoke. My least favorites actually Antisocial with Juice WRLD and Mahomes. Yeah,
let's talk about Mahomes for a little bit. So first things first, whenever you name a track after like an athlete, like you have to come correct, you know. Like imagine being Patrick Mahomes, seeing that the Migos made a song about you, and then you hit play, and then this is the thing that comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So first of all, it's 5 minutes long. It's 5 minutes and 8 seconds. And I understand that every Migo needs his own verse. So the song is gonna be like minimum 3 minutes, 2:45. So that's already on the lengthy side for songs, for albums these days. In order to be successful, they need to like figure out a formula for all of them to shine, but also for the songs to be short, because it's a 19 song track list. It's an hour and 15 minutes, and in today's day and age, this isn't like a deluxe album. This is the first drop, so I know that this is going to have a deluxe, so we're looking at maybe 25, 26, 27 tracks total, maybe like an hour and 45. Like, I don't know, it still just feels like a cash grab to me.
And sometimes I don't like it when the songs sound like they're just taking turns giving the mic to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
like, maybe like, go like back and forth, you know?
Yeah, like Need It, Offset and Young Boy just going at it. I love that kind of energy, you know? But when it's like Mahomes where you just passing the mic to each other,
it's like they sound bored when they're doing it, you know? So let's talk about this Drake track next. I mean, it's track 2. We all know that every track 2 is supposed to be like the banger of the album. And we have Having Our Way featuring Drake. It's again approaching 5 minutes. It's like 4:40, and the first 2 minutes is just Drake just doing his own thing. He does the chorus and a really lengthy verse, and for a song that has Drake on it, especially with CLB coming up hopefully this summer, like this didn't make me that excited, you know? I feel like Scary Hours 2 made me really hyped for a Drake album, and then this really brought it down. And usually Drake comes through, like with the Migos. We had Walk It Talk It, like that was the ultimate 2018 like song, or 2017 song, and then all of a sudden he just comes through with this really lacking verse. There's just something about it that just doesn't hit me as hard, you know? Like the beat's really boring as well. So it has to be either Drake comes through or the beat comes through, and if neither comes through, then what are we really doing with our time here? It's a 5 minute long song.
I felt like the vocals weren't mixed properly. That's just my opinion. Like Offset's voice and takeoffs, like I couldn't really understand it on some of the verses. Like they weren't like as crisp as Quavo's, you know?
Yeah.
That's just what I thought. Yeah.
I don't think that when people talk about albums as a whole, they don't really consider the rest of like the filler tracks. And maybe as a follow-up to Culture 2, this was better, but you're expecting a lot more, especially since they had so much time to sort of like refine this formula and maybe work with different producers. But we're just back to like digital and like everyone like that, you know? So it's like, what are we really doing? But Antisocial and Light It Up with Pop Smoke and Juice World, respectively. I think that both songs weren't that bad, especially with what they had to work with. I mean, obviously R.I.P. Juice, Pop Smoke, but Antisocial was like compared to the rest of the track list, it was pretty sad. I won't lie.
Oh
like,
yeah, it was
like you got like your like guitars and your violins, and then Juice's chorus. Like it's sad. Like especially like once you know what happened to like Juice and he's singing about this type of stuff still, and then Takeoff comes in with the first verse, little unexpected. When I'm in my feelings, I pour me some codeine just so I can feel it. Ad-lib, drink lean. Like, come on now.
different energies, so that's why I liked it a little bit. And then the Pop Smoke song though,
Yeah,
that like, I think the Migos do go well with the drill beats.
they do.
Yeah.
Especially Quavo. Like Quavo's
Quavo,
voice is
Quavo.
perfect for that.
Yeah.
Because when I saw the song, I'm like, yo, if this is anything like Aim for the Moon,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
this is gonna be sick, and it was. I mean, like they just ride the beat. Like what else is there to say? And then you got Big Woo coming in, like, and it is 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but I don't see this as much of like a sit down and listen song as this is like a going to the gym song. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna switch up the content matter, you have to switch up the production. If you're not gonna switch up the production, you need features, and if you don't have any of those, you're not checking anything off the checklist, then like it's a nothing song. And I think for the Migos, who are super high profile, like they have established themselves in the industry as like big artists, but out of 20 songs, like they're only going to be performing like 5, you know, that people actually like.
I wish there was more variety to the types of songs, you know. Antisocial and Light It Up was like the two that were kind of different, but and Avalanche was pretty different as well, yeah.
Yeah, and like the thing with the Migos is that they try to justify sounding the same by saying like we invented this sound and people are just copying us. I'm like, dude, you're not the first one to use a triplet flow in hip hop. Like there's 3-6 Mafia, like there's all these other groups and these other people who have used a triplet flow before. I mean, like Jay-Z used a triplet flow before the Migos were even a thing. Even if it was just on one song. So I think that's saying that we invented this flow and we invented this trap vibe is not a justification for just doing that on every single album and expecting to sell. That's just lazy in my opinion. I think that like you had a Drake feature and you fumbled, bro. I don't know. It's just sad to see because these guys are really like knee deep in the game. They have connections. They have the ability to work with new people, work with new producers, but they just don't want to. It's so clear that they just don't want to. I mean, I get it since it's a part of the culture series. I guess that they'll justify it by saying we wanted to keep like a certain vibe throughout all 3 of the albums. Fine, whatever. But there's a lot of potential with these guys.
Oh, I wish. You know what I wish? I wish they had a straight up Saweetie diss track, like straight up, like no like little mentions at the end of the verse, like going straight at it.
I mean, that would make the track list more exciting, that's for sure. But do we have any final thoughts before we give this thing a rating? All right, who would like to start us off? What song you want to start?
All right, it's bad. It's not worth your time. It's Migos. I didn't really expect much from them. Like I wasn't really excited for this album because it's Migos. It's always like similar. The reason why I said I liked the one with Pop Smoke was because it was like sounded like a drill. That's the only song that I liked, I think. And yeah, overall it was disappointing. So I'll give this a 5 out of 10.
Fair enough. I mean, some songs were good and some songs were really bad. I said this before, but when people try to say albums are goated or they're not goated, they say I like song A, song B, and song C, and that's it out of a 20-track album. Like you have to take the whole of the 19 tracks into consideration before you give it a rating. And I like a handful of tracks, but with that being said, that's only a handful of tracks out of 19. 5 out of 19 is a pretty small decimal. It's a pretty small percentage. And I mean, overall, like the features didn't come through. Not even Drake, not even Drizzy Drake. He didn't come through. Juice and Pop Smoke came through, and that's just embarrassing for everyone else because they're not around anymore. You know, like these
You
are
got carried
throwaway.
by dead people.
Oh, ho, brother, ho, whoa, 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 now.
Like these are throwaway Pop Smoke and Juice World
Yeah.
scraps of songs or song ideas that the Migos took and made into songs that were better than when Justin Bieber, Cardi B, Drake, and Polo G were in the studio, presumably with the Migos. That's really embarrassing. The production was really, really boring. I wasn't really expecting much, but I was hoping to be pleasantly surprised. I was not, and I know for a fact that in 2 weeks, I'm not going to be listening to any of these songs. In 2021, if you have a 19-song album and it's an hour and 15 minutes, it better be To Pimp a Butterfly too. That's all I'm saying. And with all that being said, I'm gonna have to give it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, it's really not that great, especially as a follow up to Culture 2. Like they're trying to like redeem themselves and have this new image. It just didn't work for me, at least.
That might be the lowest one of the show.
Maybe.
Lowest rating. For me, I mean the slaps are slaps, in my opinion, and the trash is trash. So I'm gonna give it half and half. So trash is trash, the slaps are slaps. So 5 out of 10.
Nice.
This is a very simple explanation, but the logic adds up, you know?
Yeah.
All right, well, I mean, it's kind of like a dark mood in the room, but there you have it. That is our review of Culture 3 by the Migos. Anything else? Probably not. I don't know. We're sitting at around 150 subscribers. You know, we're trying to get 200 by 2022. That would be cool. We're everywhere. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast, we will be. If not, please let us know, and we will be wherever you would like us to be. We're obviously on YouTube as well. And yeah, we're just going to keep this thing going. The 1 year anniversary is coming up in approximately 5 days. So we're going to have a little like montage-y, like highlight clip compilation video coming out that Host Song is going to be putting together by himself because he's just that good, you know? And yeah, there you have it. Migos, Culture 3, Hip Hop Rap 2021, 19 tracks, an hour and 15 minutes. We do not recommend that you listen to it, but if you're curious, go ahead. No one's stopping you. But yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for joining us today. The review is now over. Thank you and goodbye.